Free stuff is your problem. Let me say it again. Free stuff is your problem. Yes, it is. Now, I actually recorded this video earlier, and then we noticed we didn't have it on me. We just had it on the screen, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, we messed it up. So rather than try to remember what I said again, I transcribed it. And so I'm going to read you what I said earlier. I'll try to recapture all the passion because I was fired up when I recorded it. And so let's see how it goes. Because here's the reality: free stuff is your problem. Why? Because as humans, we do not value free. We don't. Are these exceptions? There's always an exception. But generally speaking, the vast majority of the time, we do not value free. We just don't. That's just the reality of it. Okay. It didn't take work. That's the problem with free. It didn't take work. So we don't appreciate it. There was no sweat equity. There was no real effort to attain it. Probably came up on a search, just like this video probably did. All it takes in today's world is just click a button and boom, things just appear, right? We have a smartphone, we do it every day, just boom, 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 and there you go. If we had to work a little bit more, we would appreciate things. We'd be in a totally different place. The problem is we've become addicted to free. How'd we build it? We spent a few $100. We bought a computer, smartphone, maybe a tablet. So we did spend a little money. But we use that for like a million things, right? Because let's face it, our phones are like universal computers that go everywhere and can do seemingly everything. But here's the thing: just like you bought your phone and then just, you pay your monthly phone bill, are we paying for that information? I mean, I guess we are a little, but nowadays with AI, it's like you have it all, right? I mean, it's all in your pocket, right? And so we don't appreciate things anymore. We just don't. But here's the thing: even though you have all this information for free, did you apply it? Did you really apply it? I heard someone say recently, I've been doing something for 40 years and I still don't have success. And the person he was telling him that to said to him, well, did you actually apply any of it? And the guy took it like a slap in the face. But you know what? He needed to be slapped in the face, metaphorically speaking, because the reality is, it seems like most of us do that. Maybe everybody does to some degree these days. We will listen to things and more things and more things and more things, and we don't apply. And then we wonder why life doesn't change. The fact that it was free probably had a big part of it. In fact, I know it did in a lot of cases. There's a difference between consuming free information and actually implementing it and using it. I'll prove it to you. Back in the 1980s, when I was a kid, we had this thing called Encyclopedia Britannica. They were around for a little bit. Okay. And those of you, have some gray hair like me, you remember these things. Okay. And if you're younger and you weren't around, Google it, Encyclopedia Britannica. We'd spend $300 for this series of books, and we put it on the shelf and we called it an encyclopedia. And you would have that thing on your bookshelf like it was a pride of honor, like it was a big deal if you bought an Encyclopedia Britannica and you had it in your house. Okay. You're spending all this money on this. And what was in those books? Information. That's it. And some pictures, but a lot of information. It wasn't even free back then. You had to pay for it, or you went to the library and you could read it for free. But why go to the library when you can read it at home if you just spend a little money? Sound familiar, right? See, this kind of thinking has been around a long time. It's not some recent phenomenon. You could go to the library back then and read the encyclopedia. Well, guess what? You can still do that today. You can get in a car right now while I'm talking to you and go to the library and check out a book. Or you could just sit there and read it at the library, right? Some of these libraries are pretty cool now. It's almost like a Starbucks setup without the coffee, although some might even have coffee now. Okay. Wisdom has always been there as well. How do you know? Well, because there's biographies, autobiographies, and you could go read those for free. You can't read all of them. Some of them you had to buy. You had to go to the bookstore. Nowadays, you go to Amazon, Barnes and Noble, whatever. But you could read some of them for free, and people would have tremendous wisdom in some of these books. Okay. Now, some of them, they put their books in there. You can just read it on PDF online. I don't even charge, right? But we don't value because we don't implement. Now, I'm a big advocate for reading, but I'm a bigger advocate for implementing. Somebody said once, maybe you should stop reading a bunch of books and actually read just one in a year and actually implement the whole thing. That's a good word if you think about it. What you really need is not more information. If you needed more information, you would already have what you want. How many Facebook groups, we'll use Facebook for example, that you've been in have 10, 50, 100,000 people, maybe 200,000, doesn't matter. And there's information there forever. There's good information, bad information, so-so information, right? There's a little bit of everything. But here's the thing. The majority of the people in those groups, would you actually consider them successful? I promise you, go pull 100 of them. Most of them aren't going to tell you they're successful. And they probably aren't. But yet they're the ones in there saying, oh, yeah, you don't need to pay for anything. You can just go learn it off AI or YouTube University or just the next Facebook group. And you know what? That will work for a small number of people. Why? Because they are serious action takers before they even got started. They have the drive, the passion, the why, the whatever you want to call it. And a lot of times they have some background and similar skills that kind of gives them a little bit of an upper advantage. Okay. Something I've seen many times. Okay. But here's the thing, that's not where most people are at. YouTube University was not enough for most people. AI is not enough for most people. If it was, lots of people would be successful today that are not. Okay. Action is what moves the needle. Implementation moves the needle, not more free information. And here's the thing you need above all else, you need wisdom, not just any wisdom, the wisdom that applies to you in your situation at the point of life that you're in and what it is you are trying to achieve. That's what you need. That is different from information. That is specialized wisdom that takes you in your current position and puts you in a better position by applying the wisdom that you glean from someone who's taking the time to pour into you. That is totally different. I've worked with a number of mentors over the years, and the best ones, very simple. They actually understand more than just a quick thing. They know who I am. They understand me, the goals, the mission, what's valuable, and they know how to speak into my life. And you need someone to speak into yours. Okay. Everybody needs that. No one is immune from needing someone to speak into their life to help them get to another level. Nobody is immune from that. The most successful people I've ever met in my life, all of them have a mentor. All of them. All. Not most, all. And they'll gladly tell you about it. They'll gladly tell you about it. Okay. That information is not free. I got a podcast called What Worked For You. Check it out, whatworkedforyou.com. Today, there's over 175 interviews out there, plenty more coming. Entrepreneurs that are successful in all sorts of places in their career. Some are earlier successes, some have been at it 40, 50 years and still going, making things happen. Okay. We're talking people that have made it bukus of money, uber successful. They're still going, still have mentors. They're still learning. Okay. There is no such thing as someone that's made it for free. Doesn't exist. Okay. Doesn't exist. Your ticket to success. Take action. Free has its place. We're not saying free is useless. It's not. It has its place. But it's not your ultimate ticket to success. Your ticket to success, implementation and mentoring. Get the wisdom you need from the right person to speak into your life, and it'll look totally different. That has a cost. Anything of value in this life has a cost. Anything. So leverage free when you can, sure, but only if you're going to implement it. Don't be a YouTube junkie. Don't be a Facebook group junkie. Do not be a seminar junkie. Don't even be a library junkie, although it's really quiet over there. Be an action junkie. Be an extraordinarily devoted action junkie. Surround yourself with people to speak into your life. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. The most valuable things in life tend to be the most expensive. Just know that. You're building a business. There is no such thing as a free business. None. Take action. You've heard the phrase, it is cliche, but it's the truth. Implement, get mentored, move that needle every day. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll see you around.